One of my main aims in sharing this with you is to help you move up what Abraham Hicks has called the emotional guidance scale. If you haven't come across this, it's from his book Ask and It Is Given. And obviously the way we prefer to operate in the world and how things work out the best if we're working from 7 and 6 up, hopeful, optimistic, having a positive expectation, having eagerness, happiness, freedom, appreciation, joy, and love, and empowerment. Doesn't that sound like a better place to be? But where are you in relationship to food, your body, it being as healthy as you want it to be? Are you able to admit, that you're feeling frustrated with it or pessimistic? Because sometimes the problem with emotion is that we just don't acknowledge it. We just try and shove it under the carpet. But, and there's some things I'm going to be sharing with you that might actually make you hugely angry about how we've been duped over the years. And it's important to actually let yourself feel that and not get caught up in it. So don't let that control you, so you can actually just move further on to actually make the decisions you need to make without being caught up in the rage, basically. And to really help you move from despair and powerlessness to really that whole process where you understand what works in your body because you've experienced it. You've seen and felt the difference in your own mind and body from changing the way you eat and drink. And when you experience that, then no one can take that experience away from you, and it empowers you to then go ahead and explore more. So that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see you, get to terms of where you're at, get to terms with the drama of, figuring out that your feelings about being lied to, and actually move on to a real sense of empowerment that you can take steps and actually share those steps with other people. Because it's a groundswell operation. You're not going to hear the authorities telling you the truth about nutrition for a long time. And I do expect it to turn, but people don't like to admit they're wrong. And sometimes there's lots of motivation not to admit that. So we've got to pick that up ourselves and share it with others. So you can actually reverse the statistics out there in the world. And countries like Sweden are doing that, where on a poll, 25% of Swedish, I think it's 20 to 25%, are on the kind of diet I'm recommending here. And they're actually starting to turn their obesity and overweight and diabetes statistics around. So that's it's a happening thing, but it's happening because of people like you and me sharing things with each other. Now, I'd really like you to, pick up the idea of, I'm going to share with you a bunch of ideas. And I believe, as I say in the bottom here, that in relationship to those ideas, you need to see if it makes sense to you enough to then make the decision right enough to then say, okay, this sounds good. Let's try it out. And often when we're choosing to make a step in life, if we don't make that step right, if we don't make the decision to choose that right in our own minds, then we don't fully get behind it. And so what I'd like you to do is, really explore this from the point of fully getting behind it if it makes sense to you. And then you'll be able to determine whether the ideas are truly helpful or not.